Anyway, topic of the day, is pretty much theft. Now, if anyone's ever lived in the ghetto, present, it's a very common thing. I actually have a lot of family, for the most part, that has worked in Walgreens, or that has worked at like Target, or has worked in like Walmart, or just in general, any kind of retail store. And if anybody doesn't know the policy when it comes to theft, you're supposed to just let them, just gone. You're supposed to just let them do what they want. You're supposed to just let them leave, which is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. I think what it is it's like less conflict, and let's just say this. Someone's stealing, right? Someone's stealing. Oh shit, they stealing. If you conflict with it, let's just say you got hurt. A lot of the times the company's gonna have to pay out of pocket for that, so it can be really bad. But because of all the issues that they're having now, it's really causing a lot of businesses to just go pretty much, how should I say, bankrupt. Bankrupt, pretty much gone, which is unfortunate. It really is. It really is. But I guess the video is going to explain that a little bit better than me. So
now nearly all grocers in New York City say they have been victims of
look at that.
shoplifting this year alone. And 60%
Real fast, off topic. Has anyone ever stole anything before? I really never used to steal too much. I've done a lot of stupid things. But let me tell you, one thing I don't think I've done too much of is maybe stole. I always, what was it? I still specifically remember that my papa used to say like, hey, you work for your shit, girl. You work for your shit, you do your thing. And that one stuck with me. Of course, like drugs and everything else did not, but I don't know, something about stealing for me, like, it was just kind of like a bugaboo. I was like, nah, I really didn't want that one. However, it's not like I haven't. It's not like I haven't. Just, that was probably one thing where I was like, no, thank you. Didn't do it that much. I might have stole makeup before. Maybe makeup. Because let me tell you, that shit is expensive. That shit is expensive. A candy bar when I was a kid. Oh, don't even get me started. Where I live, right? I went to go and grab maybe an energy drink or two because it was going to be a long night, right? I seen this couple. So I saw this bitch stealing. And first off, this shit was getting me mad. She was just snipping them in, right? She was stealing candy and food and a whole bunch of other shit. And you know what? I remember the boyfriend knew. The boyfriend's like, can I just have some cigarettes? So they got the cigarettes, but they stole at least like $20 or $30 worth of shit. So like there was a guy that was right next to the door, and I walk up to him and be like, hey, by the way, that bitch is stealing. That bitch is fucking stealing. And because at the end of the day, I can't do jack shit about it. So I was hoping that he might, because that shit bothers the fuck out of me. And they couldn't do anything about it. And I could have sworn he was like one of their guards, I thought. But I guess not. I guess he's just there just to give the presence that they're security. Which, by the way, I've heard that a lot of stores do that though, where they have like the presence of like having somebody there, but they can't really even do anything. Savii snitching, fuck yeah. Like, listen, I understand if you're stealing for like, hey, I need to eat some food. I need to actually, like, you know, maybe you're starving. Maybe like, you know, because I live right next to a ton of homeless people. So like, sometimes I feel bad. I'm like, listen, here, take my food, take whatever. But like, listen, these were like two fucking twats. Two twats that were literally just trying to work the system. And I'm like, I don't know. That shit is just like, it bothers me. I've been working my ass off since I was a kid, trying to make sure that I can afford half the shit that I have. So like when I see stuff like that, I'm like, stupid asses. But yeah, not saying that I've never not stolen, just not really my thing. I guess there is a moral line for me somewhere.
They've been burglarized every single day of the week
Every day.
this year.
So the city's fallen to a point where if there's
Oh,
something
hold on a
on
minute.
shelf, anything, it
Hold
is
on a minute.
target
I was about to say, I can tell it's just a tad bit quiet. There it is.
for thieves who've now
Perfect.
set their sights on our food supply.
Also,
robbing
I
local
love those.
businesses
I think those are
until they
like
shut
cuties.
down, and
Where
the
I
city
live,
is
they're called like
powerless
little
to
cuties.
stop this from happening for some reason.
As we all know, retail theft rings are an ongoing problem.
It
for
is
bodegas,
crazy.
grocery stores,
People
mom and
just,
pop businesses.
listen, people just grab shit and they're like, whatever. Whatever. It is such a huge thing right now. Such a huge fucking thing. Like, anyone in chat right now, like, do you guys see this a lot wherever you live? Because where I live, at least around my parts, it's not too bad. But like I said, I used to live down by the south side, and let me tell you, it's so common, so fucking common. No, not really. It ain't that bad here. All right, well, maybe I just live in a bad part of town. Because it's pretty common where I live. Pretty common where I live. Just saying.
This is in both common and luxury retail chains.
I think a lot of people would be surprised that it's almost every single day.
Every single
Coffee,
fucking
cheese,
day.
Shrimp. Nothing is safe.
I do be loving shrimp. I do be loving shrimp though. But like I said, not enough to steal per se. Yeah, it's wild in the city area too. Oh, absolutely. In the city, it is ridiculous. Like, it is ridiculous. And here's the thing. A lot of people are like, stick it to like, you know, main companies such as like, again, like Target, Walmart, stuff like that. Things where it's like big companies. Because like a lot of the times they have the money for it. But what tends to happen is that they start moving towards like local businesses. And local businesses can't do much about that either. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, they're out in the business too. That's why I could never work like a store or something. I'd be so pissed. I'd be fighting people. Like I said, I have done 12 years in the military. Like, I have been taught to fight. So I will fight somebody. I do not care if I lose. You're not taking my shit. You're not taking my shit.
For your safety.
Absolutely.
Retailer is just open.
Also,
game.
the video
Walk away
is
with
good still, no?
anything.
Like, can you hear
really
it?
Graduated to organized, sophisticated crimes. It's like the wild, wild
He
west.
said, so it's okay out of like the city. No, I never said it was okay out of the city. I'm just saying it's very common in the city. It's very common.
Introducing a $45 million initiative to drive
Look at that, just straight stealing. And you know what's funny? Because I think a lot of people, when the pandemic happened, this was super, super, super common. But I don't think people realize that, like, this has just been something that has been, like, it's not like it's gotten any better. Let's just say that. It's not like it has gotten any better. Let's just say that. Oh, and I accidentally backwards. Look at that. They stole from a straight up jewelry shop. They're like, boom, get the fuck out of here. That's me. I wonder how much that shit costs on like anything that's not for like the main stores, I guess, like that. Like, how much would you sell that to, like, I don't know, would you, I don't want to say like black market, but like, where do you sell that shit? What, like to friends?
We are all victims when retail theft happens.
Like, I think to myself, like, just like the Kia Boy one. Do they sell it to like friends and people around them for like what, like $50? Oh, the pawn shop, duh. I forgot about that. The pawn shop. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Cost of things, and it also creates this environment where people are hesitant.
Also, they brought up a really good point. Really good point. Sorry, I'm gonna be pausing a lot. When shit like this happens, especially. He said, fuck your birthday. God, such a good video. Shout out to Channel 5. But anyway, sorry. Anytime, especially when it's food and stuff like that, if you be stealing from all these supermarket stores and stuff like that, if, let's just say this, an orange was like $2. If you steal enough of them, now they're $4. And I'm just like, bitch, you know, I have to be making groceries. I have to be getting groceries and making food and shit like that. Can't just be doing DoorDash 24/7. That would just be ridiculous. Ridiculous. But yeah, you know, so it really does affect all of us. It affects all of us.
So almost 100% of grocery stores have been shoplifted recently. But no.
Where do you get those facts? Like, it's not like I don't not believe it, but that is a lot. That is a lot.
Nobody's talking about how New York City's latest plan to stop shoplifting won't actually punish the people who shoplift. Instead,
that's crazy to me. Chat, I have a question. What would you do? Because I can understand when stores are like, oh, I don't want you to get in a conflict and fight, even though I would fucking want to swing. Like, again, one of my nana worked for like a Walgreens for a while. And let me tell you something. She would look at the people and she's like, she would specifically be told she cannot do anything about it. And she's old school, so she'd be like, it just makes me so mad. You said you should just make her so mad. And trust me, I would be too. Definitely would be too. So I locked them up like you are meant to. Oh, 100%. But like, here's the thing. Stores are being told clearly that they can't do jack shit. So in my head, this is my theory, maybe my tinfoil hat theory, is that like police can find these people. I know they can. Now, if there's fucking bazillions of these, then maybe not so much. But I think they need to make, They need to make an example for some of these people. If you fucking, like, for anyone that's stealing or breaking into shit or whatever, if the police, like, really hammer down on it and show us, like, hey, we ain't fucking around, we are going to throw you into fucking jail and then some, then you damn well know people are not going to do it as much. When people know there are fucking consequences, then people will not do it as much. Just like when you're a kid. Have you ever seen a little fucking bratty ass kid that never ever ever gets told that they can't do something? Well, when you put them in a fucking place, remember, like, hey, you know who runs the show around here? They tend to slim down a little bit, usually. As a mom, that worked for me. So I'm just saying.
It's only aimed at punishing people who become
Having employees
violent
chase
while
culprits
shoplifting,
are
which means
liable as they can
shoplifting
directly be
continue
charged with assault.
surging
Well,
out
that's
of
what I'm
control.
saying.
With
Like, I
organized
get it,
theft rings running
but
full-time
like,
businesses,
I think
not
the
just
police
targeting
need to
retailers
be
like
doing more with
Macy's.
that.
Now they'll rob your local grocery store and offload stolen oranges at a bodega or a curbside.
At a bodega. Well, that is true. You steal from them, you're like, hey, I can make some money here. Easy money. That's why they're so cheap. That's why they are so cheap.
Produce truck, because even though stealing physical merchandise,
Police need to go away. All right, cap to that. Listen. My papa was a police officer. He was part of SWAT, and that's my thing. He said this, and don't get me wrong. It's not saying that there's not, like, bad cops out there. There definitely is. But when something bad happens to you, someone broke into your house. Let's just say I did. Let's say I did. First people you're gonna call? Police. Exactly.
North Face jacket will make you more money. Those are now chained to
Do
the
I think
stores
that police
sell
officers
them,
need
so
a little
they're
bit
harder to make
more
off
training and
with.
shit like
But the
that?
real
Fuck yeah.
reason shoplifting
But yeah,
continues
I'm
to
just saying.
surge to levels we've
I'd
never
shoot
seen
them.
before.
What if I got in there, shot you back? What if I shot you back? What if I'm armed and ready? You just woke up. Or better yet, I was just so sneaky I stole all of your shit. I'm just saying. The whole, like, oh, we don't need police. Yeah, good try.
Because
Good try.
it's still possible in this city to steal.
And you know, I always hate whenever people say that, because guess what? 90% of fucking people is when that shit happens, who are you calling first? You ain't calling your fucking nana. You ain't calling your fucking grandmother. You were calling somebody to do something about it. So that's how I feel about the matter. So, you know.
Steal under $1,000 worth of stuff and not go to jail. Which means any thief can start their own business tomorrow selling products they got for
Very
free.
true.
Effectively
Very
closing
true.
down the stores they
Our
steal
fascists,
from, who then
hey,
have to
you know
compete
what?
with their own.
If you don't like it, that is cool. I respect your, like, opinion. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna call it false. I'm gonna call it cap.
Stolen merchandise.
I'm gonna call it cap. If you don't like it too, then it is what it is.
Threatening the food supply of New York City. And if this continues, it could make things
You know,
tougher
actually,
for some
you
of the
bring up
cities
a great point. Again, not saying that there is not bad cops, but, like, I know my papa was a really solid dude. And also, not to mention, he was a SWAT officer. Like, you know, he did a lot. Worked with canines and everything else. Do you guys think... I should do a poll. Mods, can I see, like, a poll? Cops? No cops. Just curious. And trust me, it's not like I haven't had my fair share of issues with police. Like I said, I am brown. And you know what? It's funny because my papa did say that is something that they look for. A lot of the times, at least where we're at, if you might be slightly colored there, you probably have a better chance of doing drugs. Even though I think that there's a lot of white people that do as well. Luckily, I'm a mix, so apparently I get in trouble for both. So there is that. No laws? Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm sure that will work really well. Want the cops just to do their jobs and take responsibility whenever they fucked up. That's racist. Duh. We call that stereotyping, but it's something that happens. But at the same time, though, whatever. It is what it is. It just happens. You know what? Want to know the best part of... Listen, want to know the best thing that you can do to make sure... Let's just say you did get, like, racially profiled. I've been there, done that. Maybe if you don't act like a crazy bitch, maybe you can get out of it. I'm just saying. Lots of people are like, they resist so hard. It's like, just chill out. Chill out, breathe. Maybe you'll be okay. I'm just saying.
Years now, he says they are robbed on a regular basis and fearful of doing anything about it. Are you concerned sometimes for your safety? Absolutely.
Oh, I bet. First off, it makes you angry. First, it makes you angry, and then you worry because some people will just put you on, like, gunpoint. They'd be like, hey, give me your shit. So they'll take the food and they'll take the money. And they'll take the money.
Stores that sell food who are now being targeted. Which makes sense because once you put the big chains out of business, all you've got left are the local businesses. And if a big drugstore like this can't figure out how to secure its products, what?
Can you believe that, by the way? And I know some of that is like big business and everything else. But one thing I can honestly say is that like it sucks because somebody made this store happen. Oh, great example. This was a Walgreens. You know how often fucking Walgreens get stolen from? I told you the story earlier. Every day. Listen, my nana can fucking tell you. It's pretty bad. I was the only white guy living in an all black neighborhood and the cops tore my car, tore my car and house apart thinking I was a coke dealer. And that's my thing too. Depends on what side of the street you live. Like if there's less of one minority, then they're probably going to think that you're the issue. Like, again, my papa told me a few times with a lot of things. It sounds fucked up, but a lot of the times, 9 and 10 times, tends to happen where they are correct with things. Do I like that? Fuck no. But like, that's just how they teach you. That's how they teach you. It's, I think what really, how should I say, causes issues for me. What causes issues for me is when, just like you said, when there is, and this can go in on both ways. When people act crazy, they resist, they start doing too much. Like, let's just say when a police officer goes too wild with that, wrong. When I think somebody is I get pulled over and they're like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Like as if they're acting all wild and fucking crazy. It's like, if you just fucking chill, 9 out of 10 times, you're probably going to be okay. You're probably going to be okay, and if you don't, then I don't know what to tell you. Chill out. Chill out.
Plexiglass we see everywhere in this city because they sell food, because they sell beverages. Most of what they have cannot be chained behind something. And when you combine that with insanely high rent for what in most cases is a very tiny little storefront, you've got a situation where these businesses are not exactly making millions.
Is that like a 50-50 thing? I feel like, oof. I feel like, what if they're like, all right, we helped you. Now, by the way, give me your shit. It's like, fuck. It's like a 50-50. You're like, here, take it.
And that doesn't leave a lot of extra money lying around for security guards. But just as your local bodegas are getting looted into...
Also, I said this earlier, but like, white people are not safe either. Again, I am also, even though I am light brown. It's like, it really depends. You live in shady areas, you start doing shady shit. I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. Listen, I could talk about it all day because I've lived in that environment for a majority of my life. Do I live in there anymore? No, I don't live in the ghetto anymore. I am close by though. I have to go see my nana quite often still. Need to do it for taxes as well.
To oblivion, the same thing is happening at your local grocery stores. And when one of these places shuts down, it could take the rest of the neighborhood with it.
Minutes away also is Carlos Collado, 30-year resident, 15 years as the manager at this fine fair on White Plains Road, sending us surveillance video after surveillance video while describing a new climate of emboldened shoplifters.
They feel like the law protects them, like there are no consequences. Totally emboldened.
There is none.
Now, to
And there
understand
is
how
none.
shoplifting
And again,
is never a victimless crime.
I will say, like we were talking about just a second ago, is that also I always find really good fucking pauses. I love it. When it comes to like kids, because again, that's a big example that I can use since, you know, I was married for 6 years, stepmom, I had my kiddos. You let your kids like just do whatever the fuck they want, especially if they're acting like little fucking brats, then guess what? There's no consequences. They're gonna do whatever they fucking want. Same thing with like the real world. If you let people kind of just do whatever, then guess what? They're just gonna keep doing it. They're just gonna keep doing it. We talked about that with the Kia Boy stuff. Since there was no consequences, they just kept doing it. There was nothing that they could really do. So it's like, why not go fucking crazy? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if the law is not being pushed, I guess. That's kind of how I see it.
This grocery store, it's the only one in the area. Everybody living around here, this is the store that they shop at. If it's gone, where
By the
are they
way,
gonna go? And even if the store...
I like, since we have been talking about more of like race, like kind of thing, let me just remind you, you ever heard of the trailer trash? I have met a lot of crackheads and they were white. So white people get it, brown people get it. Let people get it. Everybody fucking gets it. Just depends on how much of a piece of shit you are. So just so we're clear, because I'm reading a couple things in chat. I was like, ooh.
Itself
so,
doesn't
but,
close. As they deal with theft, they have to raise their prices because if
did you hear about Prime and the whole grape one? I think the grape one has something in it that makes it so it's like, it's very deadly. It's very deadly.
half the stuff on the shelf gets stolen, the other half has to cost 100% more for them to make the same amount of money. And higher prices.
And that shit bothers me. Because again, I need my groceries. And if they're 3 times the amount, which by the way, if anyone has gone shopping lately, I'm sure you have seen it. Seeing all of that pisses me off like crazy. Like crazy.
Hurt legitimate customers.
Hi man, how you doing? Hello there.
And are just trying to make it in one of the most expensive cities in the country, which essentially means that shoplifting is a tax on the rest of society. And the more it continues, the more everyone has to pay for the same stuff. But eventually, prices rise to a point where nobody can afford what the store sells. And when that happens, the store has to shut down. It can no longer stay open and operate because its prices are too high. And if it brings them down, they won't be able to pay their expenses and make a living. And customers that might be used to shopping at a little place like this, they don't have unlimited money. At a certain point, it will be cheaper to
especially for local businesses. Like I have heard when it comes to like Walmart and stuff like that, they have a set of money, which again, I think this is like really fucked up too. But they always have like a big chunk of money for all the things that like, because people are going to steal. And it's very simple to do it inside of like a big store. A lot of times they're not watching you. And you know, they always have like a little slot of money for all the people that steal. But for small businesses, like they're just trying to do their best. If anyone has run a small business, then let me just say, you have what you have, and sometimes you have to spend a lot just to make it happen. So if someone's stealing my shit, oh god, I'd be fighting. With a bat and a gun,
and waste your time traveling to another part of town that has another store that hasn't been looted to a point where its prices are so high nobody can shop there. On top of that, the majority of this
it's super frustrating.
It's not just one person stealing a loaf of bread. No, these are organized retail gangs that make a living off stolen products, and it's
make a living. They're like, hey, what's your job? Well, I'm kind of a thief. It's like, oh, okay. That's so fucked up. Well, hi everybody. If I missed you, we're doing video stuff, so it's good to see you. It's great to see you.
So bad and so prevalent, you've got entire swaths of town that now resemble ghost towns in New York City of all places.
Where I live, or at least where I used to live there is a section that we have which is literally a ghost town. Businesses can't run there. Plus the homeless and stuff like that, they cause a lot of problems. So yeah, they just can't. So when they say that, I'm like, yeah, I know exactly where you are talking about. I mean, hell, we have a whole area where I live where it's like homeless park, aka it's like this baseball field where it's like a whole city. It's crazy. It is fucking crazy. And a lot of times they'll just fuck shit up. So I can only imagine for someone that is just regular person just stealing shit.
The New York Post interviewed several deli and grocery managers who all said when they saw someone stealing who was obviously in need, they did not care.
I love popcorn.
Which means although greed does have a lot to do with why once profitable businesses are shutting down, it's not due to the greed of the business owners. Instead, it's the greed of the shoplifters.
Totally emboldened. So now they take it an extra step now. They want to fight us. They constantly. It's often a battle.
Shoplifters have grown so bold, their illegal businesses so profitable, they now feel entitled to the very inventory they never paid for.
Imagine fucking that. You're coming up in here stealing shit, and you know you kind of want to be like mysterious. You're like, ooh, like I'm gonna get this stuff, and you never see me. But now they're like, I'm gonna sell it. I bet you the next thing that they would do is sell it right in front of the store that they fucking stole it from. That shit's crazy to me. They got balls, and not in a good way. Funny enough, I'm watching while sitting in the park a lot of our grocery stores. I'm telling you, it's a very common thing. And of course, there's a lot of different places that it is worse. A lot of times it's in the city. But I will say that it's frustrating. That has to be so fucked up. And again, especially as a person that does like to do a little grocery shop and does like to do a little cooking, like my grocery bill goes up higher and higher and higher. And people think it's like, oh, you know, government and, you know, president and all the other like bullshit. But you know what? A lot of it is pretty much this. Oh, hold on, my pause.
In the first place. And this is why physical altercations inside these stores are now so common. And
Because they can just grab it. Like this, okay. So it's so simple where someone can walk by and just go have his backpack, turn it around, open it, grab them all, throw at least like 20 bitches in there. And you know, that would be like a couple of $100, just mine instantly within a few seconds. It's just that easy.
What that's doing is
I know it's yoinking them bitches like
just trying to survive
yoink,
into complete
yoink.
war zones. And the sad thing is, nobody working at these local businesses gets paid enough money to put their life on the line for a
Pretty
hat
much.
or an apple
Pretty
or
much.
an orange for that matter. Now the governor's new plan to stop shoplifting only increases penalties for shoplifters who also become violent while they are stealing things from a store, which means that
Only
if
when you're
shoplifters go
violent.
into a store and they're on their best behavior, this
Only when they're violent. It's like, oh, you.
new plan
As long as you're being good. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. It's ridiculous. And the worst part is too, especially if we're talking about like local businesses, because some people will be like, well, why don't you just put bodyguards on there? It's like, you know how much that shit costs? You know how much that shit costs? Ridiculous amount. I'll say real quick, thank you so much for the 32 months. I really appreciate that. It's that's a mess. That is a
offer them
mess.
any new consequences
It's
for
like,
their
you better be
behavior.
nice.
And since the police are powerless to stop these criminals, you've now got a situation where thieves make a living off the backs of the
If we change the way that we did things, such as with like police officers trying to, you know, hunt them down, doing shit like that, it would be less of an issue. Just like with the Kia boy, like when we were watching the Kia boy video, if there was more of like a punishment for that, it would happen less. Would it still happen? Fuck yeah, it would. People are always gonna do dumb shit. People are always gonna do dumb shit, but it would be a lot less. It'd be a lot less. Exactly. It's like a peaceful crime. It's a peaceful theft. I think that's so silly. It's so fucking silly.
innocent in more ways than one.
This Bravo supermarket in the Bronx is clean and feeds the neighborhood, but they're also hemorrhaging between $1,000 and $2,000 a month from theft.
And a lot of it is just because it is right there. Because they can't do a lot. It's like they can just grab it. So I think I was watching Asman briefly talking about something like this, and he was saying when he went off to, I think it was like Walmart. I think he was like Walmart. He said that he wanted like a pair of underwear, but everything was locked. So he had to go over to somebody, which by the way, I hate. I like to be able to do my shopping alone. alone. And he said that like there was a person that was like could unlock it, and when he was like, hey, thank you, I'm gonna just, you know, put it inside my cart and then keep going forward, she was like, no, you have to, like, I have to walk you up to it so that you can pay for it. Makes me feel like I'm a fucking 5-year-old. Makes me feel like I'm gonna fucking 5-year-old. I know, means you gotta talk with someone nowadays. Gross. Listen, I just like to do my own thing. I'm 31. I like to do my own thing. This is my time to, you know, relax. I love shopping. I think for shopping and stuff like that, especially if it's like food and stuff, not only do I know that I can go and make some awesome meals, but it also gives me some time away from people. Well, I guess there are people there, but you know what I mean. My time away so I can just, you know, relax.
Shoplifting is bad. It's terrible.
Coffee,
Yeah,
cheese,
no shit.
shrimp. Nothing is safe.
I do be wanting that
Several
shrimp.
months ago, Jose said
Also, those shrimps be costing a lot. So, of course, they're like, that's mine. Yoink.
a woman came in with a baby stroller, filled it with these logs of
So I bought this massive brick of Bustelo coffee on Amazon because this was
I'm glad
the
I want some
cheapest
coffee now.
I could find these Bustelo
I want some
coffees
coffee
in.
now.
And it even looks like it came from a legitimate distributor. It's shrink wrapped. It's got
Mm-hmm.
the cardboard under it. This looks pretty legit. But these little bricks are the same ones that get sold at the supermarket. What if these are stolen and they were placed inside this package? I've got no way of knowing that. Professional
That is true.
thieves are really good now. They will steal things individually and repackage them, sell them online, and all this packaging and stuff.
They said, nah, bitch, that's my business. That is my business. That is ridiculous, Chad. Can you believe that? And like I said, with all the... So with the big stores, like I said, there's a budget. There is a budget for like people stealing and whatnot. But what does a local business do? What does a local business do? A lot of them will just be like, no, you are not making me fucking bankrupt, and they will fight back. But that's with like the person that was like, oh, you know, cops bad. And I'm like, listen, I know they're not great, but I will say one thing. There's a lot of good ones out there. So to be able to have somebody that got your back, that would be, like I said, my first step, minus the fact that I'd be probably fighting somebody. I'd probably be fucking fighting somebody. But a lot of people are fucking like loaded. They loaded too. Just saying. That's America. You know, that's actually a lot of places. You ever been to London before? It's pretty bad sometimes.
Stuff that you need to make
it's pretty bad. I have not been there in years, but I remember my papa and my mom always complained about that. It was just getting worse and worse. And you know what? Now we're getting to a new level in that shit. A new level. Like, you know, how are you doing?
Readily obtainable. This is already a huge problem with other sorts of retail theft, clothing, electronics, stuff like that. But food, the same thing's possible if you've got stuff like this that's non-perishable. And what's insane is the reason all of us are shopping online in the first place is because we're looking for a deal. We're looking to save money, and online you can do it. And we think, oh, that's just because it's online. It's because there's not an actual store that has to pay things like rent. And you know something? That is partially true, but the store that you bought it from, they also don't have to pay for things like inventory because the goods are stolen. And it's ridiculous to think that the entire
it's like you skip a couple of steps just to get that main profit. But you know what? It's crazy to me because what this reminds me of a lot of the times is, you know, people be taking shortcuts in life overall. So this is kind of like the same thing. You just kind of go from like, hey, like, I'm just going to skip all like the things you're supposed to do whenever you're selling shit. And you're just like, no, we're just going to make mad fucking profit. Exactly. Just go for fucking profit. Tax-free, by the way. Tax-free. Sounds awesome. But again, you're stealing from one person. And you know what? When it comes to like stores, especially for like, I think this bothers me the most when we're talking about like small businesses. Because you're talking, that could be like my like abuela. That could be my little brother. That could be somebody that like, hey, we're trying to start something. And you're trying to fuck with that. So if you fuck with that, you're going to fuck with me. And then listen, we're going to have some fucking problems. So that's kind of how I see it. It's just bad. It's just bad.
Shoplifting industrial complex operating in this city happens because legitimate people are also the victims of it. We don't understand that we're buying the things that are closing our own stores.
See, the issue here is places like Walmart and the Waiting family don't pay their fair share of taxes. So naturally, they get a little sympathetic for people who are hardly able to afford to live. So they press to this small businesses where you ought to be respect. Well, even still, like, why steal from any store, really? Like, I think a lot of people is like stick it to the man for people that are like for big businesses. And don't get me wrong, a lot of big businesses fucking make a shit ton of fucking money. But I wouldn't want to do that to them either. Again, started from somewhere. So I don't know. I just don't really like that. I don't think a wrong with a wrong makes it equal. Like, it does not work in my book. It's kind of fucked up. And again, I was a stupid kid one time. In my life, maybe like years of fucking gone. So I've done some dumb shit, but like, I don't know, just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. You can't have a wrong with a wrong. Like, it doesn't make sense. You're not right because you're doing this to stick it to the man. Or whatever you might fucking do it for. But to me personally, that's kind of fucked up. It's kind of fucked up. Because you know what? Remember how we were talking about, we talked about it last video. I want to say it was last week. We were talking about the whole Twitter thing. You know, some people have this righteous, they have like this thing where they're like, hey, I want to have like a change, right? And if someone's against that, they will go to the extremes of being like, I hope this person dies. It's like, Jesus. To me, that don't sound good at all. You have to think clearly, without emotions, without anything. You have to think with the facts. Like, if you can't do that, I'm going to be real with you. Like, at least for me, your opinion is null and void. And I'm not even listening to you at that point. If I can hear that you're like, oh, this and this, and like, oh, you know what, because you don't stand with me, like, fuck you and fuck everything about you. I'm like, okay, well, you clearly are not somebody I want to talk with, so I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna fucking leave. You know, that is not the answer. Compassion and helping others while doing what you can to buy from good businesses. I am all about supporting small businesses. You should 100% support small businesses. Definitely. But listen, don't be stealing from either one. Get a fucking job, loser.
like this aren't shut down because Robin Hood was trying to feed the poor by stealing from the rich. You've literally got people raiding local businesses, stealing as much as they can in a half an hour. And since all this inventory costs the thieves absolutely nothing, you've got a pure profit business. And if the criminals get arrested, since they don't go to jail, if it's under $1,000, they can get right back out.
That's right. It's under $1,000, you're golden. That's a lot of fucking money too. Think about that. A lot of fucking money. Jay, thank you for the 29 months, by the way. Thank you, thank you. I know, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. You know, I work 2 jobs and then streaming for fun. And let me tell you something. And let me tell you something. 1,000, oh boy, that's still good for me. That's still good for fucking me. Also, no loud voice. Thank you so much for the 5 months and the tier 2. That's fucking ridiculous. You guys are too much.
And although these
You're too
theft
much.
operations might enrich the people at the top, a lot of the people at the bottom who are doing the actual stealing, these are folks who are being exploited. People suffering from addiction, from homelessness. Crooks convince them they can earn quick cash today by bringing a trash bag full of beauty supplies, detergent, or espresso back to a warehouse.
It does suck when it comes to the homeless stuff. I have actually had a friend that because some people, again, where I live, or at least literally like 20 or 30 minutes down, because here's the thing, I'm out of the ghetto but only by 20 or 30 minutes, and I will say another thing is that it's starting to slowly come down my way from what I've noticed. But like I said, with the whole homeless park thing, I know some people that literally just kind of got some bad luck. They got some bad luck, and that's the way that they're living now, which is unfortunate. Listen, we live in a society, we live in an economy where it is a little tough right now. It is definitely tough, 100%. I'd be surprised if people don't have 2 jobs. It is crazy. And also, you have seen a drastic increase of people living with their family again, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's one of those things where it's you just see more of it, and it's unfortunate whenever you see it. I wish I didn't see it as much, but a lot of the times with the homeless stuff that I've seen, big time, has usually been drugs and addiction, alcoholics, drug addicts, stuff where it's that's just that was their life, and then they kind of just stuck with it. So, but there are some people that aren't, that's not what they did, and it just kind of just happened. It just kind of just happened that way. And it sucks because I know that some of them are trying their best to get out of that situation, trying to find work, trying to find things to make it so they can get out of there. Not everybody wants to live like that, Seems like a lot of people do, but trust me. People do want to get out of that situation. I'm just saying. We call that tent city.
And without real help from police and from a justice system that cares about businesses like this, there's no way it stands a chance against an operation like that. And think about a grocery store losing $2,000 a month just from shoplifting.
Finding work is a nightmare. And I know that sometimes it really depends. Really depends on where you live. Also, another thing that tends to happen too, let's just say you got in trouble with the law once upon a time, right? I did. And let me tell you, I am so lucky I didn't get kicked out of the military. I was in jail for a little bit, and let me tell you, put that on your record. People see that. It is way harder to get a job, definitely. So I don't know. It's tough. It is tough. So if you have a record, sometimes it can be a mess. And even if you don't, jobs sometimes can be a bit of a mess. It's hard. It's definitely hard.
This is already struggling because the rent's too high, and because your taxes and other fees just for operating
Careful who you date.
Careful who you date.
That's all I gotta say about that.
And your business could make the unfortunate decision to close up shop. And who's the winner in a situation like that? Certainly not the business owner, because now they're out of a job. Certainly not everybody who lives around here, because now they're out of stores to shop at. And you know what? It's not even the criminals who do the actual stealing, because eventually the store's gonna be gone, and they're not gonna be able to buy any food either.
What sucks too is that the ecosystem around, houses and if you want people to live around in a certain section, you got to have nice stores, you got to have nice things so people can they can go shop around with and live normal life. So when all of that goes away, a lot of the times the house market plummets, and then all of a sudden everything starts going away. It sucks if you think about it. It really sucks.
It's completely destructive. Is this a total nightmare? Absolutely, and that's why
the government don't get me started on makeup. That's one of the few things that I've ever taken inside my life. But I was young. I was a young kid.
Nothing. But the real question is, why is it taking the government so long to act on this? Why have so many?
Because they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with it, and they make crazy ass laws to be this is fine. It's no, it is not fine. It is not fine. We really got to do something about that shit. You really got to do some fucking about that shit. It's like you gotta fucking lay the law down. Some people don't want the government to help, but I'm just saying, said this a lot, but who's the first people you call when some shit happens? When some shit happens, you got your cousin killed by like a boleta. Who do you call? The policia. Who do you call when someone's jacking your fucking shit? You know, it's just kind of just how it is. You might also call like your mama, but you know, it's shit like that where it's like, duh. So, you know, the gangs, you call the gangs for the gangs. They're probably the one that stole your shit.
People lose their jobs. Customers lose their shopping centers. Sadly, it's because the people running New York
also unstable. Thank you for the raid. Thank you. We're going over videos right now. It's great to see you. Hello. Anything that's easily accessed. Oh, wait, by the way, hold on a minute. Let me show you something. But yeah, Unstable, I hope you had a great stream. Like I said, we're doing videos right now, so I hope you enjoy yourself. Wait, hold on. Chat, you ever wondering what kind of energy drinks that I drink if it is not coffee? That one. The C4 is up on the top. C4 is right on the top. Those are my babies. Those are my babies. Oh my god, he went for 15 hours today. That's my boy. Good shit. All I gotta say, please be safe. Please be safe, get some rest. I really do appreciate you being here. Thank you. No Prime. Who likes Prime, by the way? Who likes Prime? Hold on, I'm gonna drink my drink. Speaking of which, never been a big fan. C4. Listen, it's decent. Hear me out. Any military member that you ever meet has their specific energy drink that they like. I will say majority of them like Monsters, but like, come on now, we can't be basic bitches. We're not Kyle. Bitch, we are not Kyle. No.
You ever have people come in here and try to steal stuff?
Yeah.
Do you think there's a store in New York City that's never been shoplifted from?
God, that's crazy. Also, Hero, thank you so much for the Prime. I appreciate that. Thank you. You guys are so sweet to me. Thank you.
Yeah.
There's so many people in this city.
The lawlessness, the chaos that is going on.
Anybody live in New York? Because clearly, I mean, I don't live in the city. I used to live in the city, and it's much worse. And you know what's crazy is that I don't even live in the city now. And it's so pretty fucking bad. Right here, Matt, how is it? Military goes crazy with energy drinks because we're always on fucking post. I said, well, I work in Manhattan. I heard it was really bad there. It's crazy. And you know, like, the crazy part is this. I'm sure a lot of people in chat never seen this before. So if anything, you get a little taste in a few of our lives. So it is crazy though. A lot of people live in small towns, I feel like, so they don't really see much of this. Oh, I heard Houston's pretty bad too. I could be wrong with that. I hear Texas can be pretty bad.
District attorneys and $5 million to help businesses with security. The question tonight will...
You know, I feel like eventually everything's going to be behind one of those like plastic cases. And you know what? I bet you they'll still find a way to break into that shit. Still find a fucking way.
So here's some good news from the governor. $45 million, that's a lot of money. But unfortunately, it won't all go to purposes that people think are going to have an effect. But it's also worth noting that it's not the governor's fault or the mayor's fault that we have a shoplifting problem in this state. After all, they didn't write the laws that have led us to the place we're at today. And
well, we need to fix it. I feel like a lot of the laws are so fucking old. They're so old. Great example too. Music for the internet. What else? There is what was I thinking of before? There's a new thing for like streaming where like people don't know how to regulate. I think it's for AI stuff. You guys know my stance when it comes to AI things. Like, you try to sell that shit, you're kind of a twat. But at the same time though, like, I use some of it for ideas for like clothes or things that I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to help me to expand myself, expand my thought process of how I want to do models or how I want to do shit. So there's no real laws just yet for a lot of that. But like, my thing is this, there's old laws and then there's new laws that people just don't really, people don't want to actually like deal with. They don't want to actually like do the work to fix this shit, which is unfortunate as government, boy. That's the government for you. I worked 12 years with the government, and let me tell you, them bitches be lazy. Them bitches be lazy. Lazy.
To a certain extent, their tools for dealing with an out-of-control crime crisis are somewhat limited. So first up, we've got $25 million for the police, who can arrest people who then get released because the laws here don't jail people for stealing.
And that's my thing. Like, you spend all the money for, like, police, and you can't even do anything about it. And it's not their fault. It is not their fault. It is the laws that are set in place. Just how it is. Just how it is. They gotta fix that shit. They gotta fix that shit.
Now, yes, the state police, they're the ones who bust a lot of these big-time retail theft rings, and the leaders of those operations are responsible for way more than $1,000 worth of...
God, this looks like the South Side so bad. Yep, that's why they say it's ghost towns. It's just nothing but businesses that are like just done. If anything, you think about it, it's like it'll be like empty business, empty business, empty business. The one business, empty business, empty business. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Theft, and the leaders might get locked up, but the low-level criminals who are still out there robbing these stores, shutting them down, they're still walking the earth. There's also $15 million
as long as it's not, as long as it's under 1,000. Oh, hi, Rice. How you doing? Thank you so much for the raid. Enjoy videos. Going on videos.
Criminals instead of punishing them. Those laws exist because people believe in them. Judges believe in them. District attorneys even believe in them. So the people that are...
I almost want to say that them laws will never be changed unless it affects them. It's crazy. It's crazy how shit changes when it affects you, huh? Sony, I'm looking at you. I wonder what happened when everyone started getting real fucking on your asshole about the whole Sony thing. Oh yeah, that's right. We got our Helldivers back. Duh. Helldivers.
Supposed to prosecute the criminals.
Just saying, you get on their ass there, they're eventually they're going to fucking do shit.
May not be asking for the harshest penalties they could, which might actually land somebody behind bars.
Now, of course, that's a video game, but it is a little different. It's pretty much very similar.
Because it has to do with grants related to in-store security for local businesses who need.
See, I mean the whole story with the asthma thing. Look at that. They're all locked up. They're all locked up, and having to like literally get your hand held to go right to the cashier. Isn't that stupid? Because again, I'm 31. That's the last thing I would want, to be like, hey, by the way, let's go. Come on. All right, you're gonna buy this now? It's crazy. It's crazy to me. And you know, at least from what he was telling, or what he was saying with his story too, is that you can't touch it. So they'll unlock it, and the store person that is working there, they're gonna take it over there. They're gonna take it over there. For underwear. I can only imagine what other stuff there is there. Actually, if you've actually gone to a store to go and get makeup, because that's one of my babies, because especially since makeup is pretty expensive. A lot of them are behind cages too, so it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me.
Need it the most. For example, things like security guards,
it's
security
the only
cameras,
way to stop
these
theft
could help
then.
in discouraging
There could be a
crime
few
at the
things,
source.
but that is one
brings
thing
up
that they have for right now.
question about all this. If a $5 million grant to businesses, that's almost like an admission that things are happening inside the business that the city's not able to stop, and the business needs more resources to.
They don't want to stop it. Not like they can't. They don't want to stop it. Why deal with an issue like that when they have other things to deal with? Cool.
Deal with it themselves. So why not give businesses the whole $35 million? At the end of the day, if even bananas are being stolen and there's nothing the police can do about it, why not give businesses the resources to tackle this problem on their own? But money for businesses, that's definitely better than what other local leaders here have tried to come up with. One local leader.
The reason why they want to do that? Because that's money taken away from them. That is money taken away from them. You know, people fucking give a lot of police officers shit, but have you seen lawyers, judges, people that like specifically work for government? Them bitches got money. They got money. And it's just like, well, how do you fix that? Maybe get the people off of the, get rid of the old school, like old farts that are on the fucking judge, that are on the fucking seat right now, that are on like our government, how should I say? I guess the Supreme Court and all the other stuff. Like, get them off, get some new people on there. And even still, maybe we'd still have the same problems. Maybe we'd still have like the same problems. But I think it's like, get rid of the old corrupt, put in new. But at the same time, I am a firm believer of it's always going to be corrupt. Unfortunately, we may have a say with few things, but I feel like those people are kind of set in stone. They already know who's going to be there in the next 5 years, next 10 years. So it's rough. It's rough. It really is. I know some people think, oh, they got to say with that one. That's one of the few things I don't think we do. We may have a say for video games, but maybe not government. So again, worked military 12 years. I have worked government jobs plenty of times before. There's a reason why people get very complacent, is because they know they can't do jack shit. Not only that, but they ain't got no raises. You never get raises, ever.
Margins through theft to cause them to shut down in the first place. But okay, there's a new plan on the table. How long is it going to take to work? And will it save businesses from shutting down completely?
20 fucking years, because it takes them 5,000 years to do anything. Also, look at that Sonic. I so want that. Also, what's going on here with the... What's going on here with the Charmander and the Bulbasaur? That is like the most Giga Chad, what? I almost said Squirtle. The most Giga Chad freaking Charmander and freaking like Bulbasaur. Actually, there is like a Squirtle way over there, but I think that's a plushie. I think that is a plushie. Buff as Pokemon. True. Very true. Also, hello everybody if I'm not saying hi to you. I hope you're having a lovely day. Video stuff, I tend to kind of just like focus on it.
They're releasing repeat criminals. Crime hurts us.
Indeed, crime hurts all of us. Now, Hochul's proposal.
Also, with this next,
and what do local business owners think about
with that face, I love it. Look, watch this, watch this, watch this.
Repeat criminals. Crime.
If it is under $1,000, under $1,000, right? I think each one of those would be like what, $8, $10, $15, depends on where you live specifically. Don't go over to California because that would be probably like what, $30. Like, they can just grab that whole section. If it's under $1,000, boom, they're good. They're golden. As long as they're nice, apparently. As long as they are nice. California is English. Wait, how bad is California? That's what I was trying to say. I heard New York is really bad, and so is California. But to be fair, with California's prices, they're ridiculous. So people are like, well, that's for me. Yoink.
Okay, so it's at least 1 year away. Meanwhile, criminals are still going to walk around doing what they've always done.
You should sell everything at $1,000 and give it a discount at checkout. True.
Does anyone think the
Cali's like
result of that
getting
is
really bad.
actually
Oh, I
going to be
bet.
when there is a legal system and a justice system on the other end of all that security footage that isn't actually going to punish anybody? Because
they're not gonna get punished. I brought this up a few times. You punish a kid for being a little fucking asshole, a little bitch, trying to think that they can run the show even though they're little, then they're gonna do whatever they want because they know there's no consequences. You put consequences, there will be a shortage, a big shortage. Will it ever stop? No, but at the end of the day, it will slim it down drastically.
at the end of the day, the reason we've got such a problem with repeat offenders is because the first-time offenders were never punished in the first place.
They said,
and
nope,
what's
it doesn't
truly
matter.
fascinating about this new push to try and stay...
And even if there is, like, even if there's a, somebody that has done it multiple times, apparently it doesn't matter as long as they are nice and under $1,000. That is what I have gotten out of this.
About crime,
it's crazy
it
to
comes
me.
after
It's crazy
an
to
effort
me.
that started a year ago to try and expand the number of food-related businesses in areas that are lacking. And if you're not sure how you could have no grocery store in an area with lots of people, then you haven't been paying attention to this video.
His new business has opened as part of the New York...
Imagine that too. And with that being said, if it does happen that way, I promise you, you will slowly start seeing like the house market just gone. It will slowly go away because you gotta have food. You gotta have these things that keep people around. And if there's nothing around, then people will leave. Businesses will leave. So it's just gonna happen. It's just gonna happen that way. I've seen it where I live.
For grocery store owners to open in areas that the city says have limited access.
So grocery stores have been struggling for a long time. We know this. And a year ago, the city admitted that, hey, these stores, they don't have enough money to operate. For some reason, which we can't seem to
I know, it's
identify,
like, whoa.
Stores lose money, they close.
And that's the crazy part. That is the crazy part. They'll be like, oh, what's happening? It's like, oh, I wonder. As if they're blind. It's like me. It's like fucking blind. It's like, no, bitch. You know why. Bitch, you know why.
They leave and people have nowhere to buy food. And
Exactly.
obviously last year's program to try and expand stores by giving them discounts and not admitting the whole reason why stores have trouble staying open has missed the mark completely. And here we are a year later with those same types of stores having an even tougher time trying to make it in New York.
You want to know what this reminds me of? You know how we fucking talk about all the time about like, hey, game developers never fucking know what gamers want because it's people that are so blind, even though it's right in front of their fucking face. That's why indie games are like so much better nowadays, because those are gamers making games. So the reason why I bring up that one, it's a little bit of a smaller example, but like if you think about it, if you really think about it, it's very similar because they don't understand. It's so simple. They're like, oh, I wonder what's going on. I wonder if it's this. Like, no, bitch. It's as simple as, hey, there's a problem. We're not doing anything about it. That's it. Boom, boom, boom. Figure out what the issue is. Boom. That's it. It's because they don't want to do anything about it. They just don't want to do anything about it.
Crime-ridden environment. And you know something? It's really hard to have a crime-free environment when the people who are supposed to enforce the laws regarding crime view all criminals as victims. For example, some schools of thought see criminals as victims of a society that has been unfair to them in some manner.
I hate when people play in the victim card. I hate that right there. Even when something happens to me, the last thing I want to be like, oh, listen, I'm the victim of this and this. I'm like, listen, I should have done better. I should have done better. I will never play the fucking victim card. Never fucking play in the victim card. It's dumb. Especially with small matters. Like if you're a victim of like domestic violence or somebody breaking in, that definitely is, hey, you were a victim of this. Clearly. But there's a lot of things where people play victim like, oh, you yelled at me or you did this. It's like, shut the fuck up. Nobody's listening to your little petty, well, actually, technically speaking, the world is listening to that. But I think it's such a waste of fucking time. Waste of time and effort when it can be going over to things that actually fucking matter. At least to me personally.
Gives them permission to victimize store owners who are obviously wealthier and better off than they are. While at the exact same time, those business owners are seen as victims of the landlords who they rent from who charge so much that they have to shut down. And think for a moment about how different New York City would be if we lived in a place where when criminals did something wrong, they lost their freedom. They were not allowed to roam the streets. They were not allowed to go back home and sleep at night and think about what crimes they were going to commit the next day. You would probably have 0 retail theft rings operating if all of the criminals who were doing the actual stealing were behind bars.
Yes, clearly. But here's the thing. Even if we did start doing this, it wouldn't completely kill things. It would be like, but it would drastically shrink it. It would drastically shrink it, and that's what I would want to see more of. Definitely.
These crime kingpins who are selling on every single website can't find workers. They're going to have to shut down, not the stores they steal from. And in a world where everyone who does something wrong is actually a victim of somebody else who deserves it, you don't actually have any criminals, do you? Is that the right attitude? Is it New York City's attitude? What should we do?
It should be everyone's attitude. It should be everyone's issue, because this is just something that's been going around everywhere. Now, of course, big cities, boom. It's just going to be one of those things that happen even more. It's going to happen even more. I really do feel like cities kind of get hit more with it than anything else. But I feel like it's something that we should definitely be working on everywhere. It would be less issues. It'd be less issues. And let's be real. If I was that bitch that was stealing from your nana, I'd be stealing from your family, or even stealing from big business, would you want me around? Would you trust me? Probably not. Probably not. I'd rather you be like behind bars dealing with that shit. Deal with the rest of the fucking assholes. Deal with the rest of the fucking like. Deal with the rest of the piece of shits that are out there in the world. We have a lot of them out there. Maybe just go ahead and throw them behind bars. Get the fuck out of my face.
Here to stop this out of control.
Not everyone's good.
Shoplifting epidemic. Let me know. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the
By
next
the way,
video.
I learned a lot from this because listen, I did not know that as long as they're peaceful and under $1,000, then it's fine. I'm like, what in the holy fuck did I just hear? What the fuck did I just hear? That to me is wild. That to me is fucking wild. But yes, with that being said, pretty good fucking video, most definitely. Oh, also, I wanted to say this too. First off, let's go ahead and copy this. Please go and check them out. There's a really good fucking video. A really good fucking video. There it is right there. Please go check them out. Cash Jordan. One of my first videos that I've seen from them. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Plus, I like the way that they do like the phone thing. I think it's awesome. Oh, just side note. When it comes to like conversation, you know, let's not get a little too crazy with it. I know some people are very, they're very gung-ho about some of their opinions. But remember, we talk about this a lot, especially with like, I mean, last video we were like, hey, like we all have opinions of things, sometimes a little stronger than others. Let us live in harmony. You may not be able to understand why some people are like, hey, this is how I feel about this. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of things that I probably don't like too. Like, great example. We had somebody talk about police. I actually think we should. I think we should have police. I think we should have people that are going to handle the situation kind of thing. And that's something I truly believe in. Someone don't, it's fine. It's fine. You live the way that you want. You live the way that you want. But at the end of the day, I think it's something that clearly is a issue. And I would love to see that being changed. Will that change though? Unlikely.